I've trusted in you without wavering, O Lord, so help me. Examine me, test me, try my heart, try my mind. For your loving kindness is before my eyes, and I have walked in your truth. Can you say that? I hope you can. Lord, I've walked in your truth. I've seen your loving kindness. It's right before me. Can you actually ask God to examine you deeply? Can you open up every door of the recesses of your heart and say, come in, examine me and test me? You ought to be able to. If you love him and trust him, you can. Why? Because he's good. He only has your best interest at heart. You can trust him. You can't trust people to dig around in your soul. Not very deeply, but you can trust the Lord. He said, I've decided not to sit with deceitful men. I'm not going with hypocrites and pretenders. I'm not going to run with them. You have to separate yourself from deceitful, evil hypocrites. He said, I just hate the assembly of evildoers. I won't sit with the wicked. I wash my hands in innocence. He said, I've made a choice. I've made a choice to follow you and not hang around these people that are playing games, or either they're against you, one or the other. Then he says something here. I will simply go about your altar, that I may proclaim you with a voice of thanksgiving. I'm just going to spend time around your altar, Lord. I don't have to spend time with all these deceitful people and hypocrites. I forsake all. I say it again. I forsake all to find you. I want to hang around your altar, your presence. I want to learn of you. What has man got to teach me? I need you. So I follow you. I declare all your wonders. O Lord, I love the habitation of your house and the place where your glory dwells. That one is beyond our comprehension almost. I love, what does he say? I love the habitation. I love to dwell in your house and where your glory dwells. He's not talking about going to church on Sunday morning. You got to see this. Now, I hope your church is where God dwells. I hope his glory is present. But he's not talking about going to church. This is between a man and his God. A man who has forsaken everybody, and he's finding him, and he says, I just want to spend time in your house, in your presence, in your glory. That's what I want to do in my life. That's following Jesus to the fullest. I really believe that. Ephesians 3 again. I've looked at this for so many years, and I learn something every time I read it. Ephesians 3 is one of the Pauline prayers, and you ought to pray it. We've been praying this at Mount of Fellowship for years. 3 minutes. And those that are praying it with a sincere heart, trust me, are changing more and more into the image of Christ. The ones that just mouthed it or didn't pray it, I don't know. I can't speak for them. But it says here, and I don't have enough time to get into it much. Paul has said, I'm praying that God would grant you to be strengthened with power, God's power in your inner being, the real you, so that Christ may dwell in your heart through faith. It's not talking about being born again here, but so that Christ may settle down and abide in your heart as total Lord of your life. Okay? Not just born again, but Lord of your life. And that you will be able to comprehend with the saints of old how big God's love is. How great is this love of Christ? And to hear it, see it, believe it, and walk in it, so that you can be filled with all the fullness of God. Did you hear that? So that you can be filled with all the fullness of God. This is the promise. This is the end result, or one of them, of someone who follows Christ and not man. Who follows Christ and not his own desires. Who follows Christ and not wrong traditions. This is the outcome, to be filled with the fullness of God. And it's not very evident right now on the earth. Not from what I've seen. something I'm desiring in my own life more and more. And it comes from something, there's a Greek word here, huper, perissos, huper. And people laugh about it, and me too, trying to pronounce it Southern. 1 minute. But what it really means is this can take place if you will believe. Why? Because it's according to the great power of God himself, who can do more than we can even ask or think. Stretch yourself, guys. Believe the word. Don't believe your own head. He says, according to God's power, who can do more than you could ever ask, think, or imagine. It's over and beyond and out from and over and beyond. That's what that Greek phrase means. Over and beyond, out from, and over and beyond the magnificent power that God has toward us. He wants so badly for us to follow his Son and follow him into the conformity of his life, his character, and his purposes and his will. And that's what he wants to do. And we need to surrender to that and let God do the miracle. Till next week, God bless you richly is my prayer.